Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for watching. Hello. Apologies because you're watching me create an abomination. Um, I know the Sonic community would probably not appreciate me trying to, well, I'm not trying to redesign him, but I just thought it'd be funny to make a Capcom-esque Sonic. But I know that the Sonic community would not appreciate that. So apologies for forcing you to witness this. But welcome to the stream. Um, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to talk about anything, art, movies, games, feel free to drop your comments in the chat, um, and I'll be happy to answer them. It's also just nice to talk while I draw. But, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, probably the greatest video game character of all time. Love your art. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Are you an artist as well? Or just an art enjoyer? Either is fine. I completely forgot to fill in his shoes. Let's do that real quick. Actually, like that. And I completely forgot to fill in his eyes down here. We'll do that real quick. Shadows. Is that on the wrong layer? Oh no. No, you just can't see it. It's, okay. It's still not filled in, is it? Okay, there we go. That is a crazy looking Sonic. I know, I know. I I just I've been on a bit of a Capcom kick, so I wanted to do like a Capcom-esque Sonic. I knew it was going to look ugly. Like I knew that already. I had already sketched this out like earlier while I was at work. Um, I knew it was going to look bad, but I wanted to do it anyways. Um, sometimes in art you just got to take risks. You know, it's just part of the process. Am I just trying to justify making this sketch? Yes, but what I'm saying is still true. I think my brother and I were talking about it at one point, and he was saying that Sonic feels like he could have like been created by Capcom. Like if someone told him that Sonic was a Capcom creation, he would have believed it. I was like, I can't even disagree with that. Like Capcom and Sega are both really good when it comes to like character design and shape design, so they're both kind of like up there as far as like the greats when it comes to that. So it wouldn't be that hard to believe that Sonic was a Capcom character first. Marvel versus Capcom Sonic. Yeah. I could have given him muscles. I thought about it. I really did, but I was like, I feel like that's a bit too much. I don't want him to look like he's on steroids like Chris. I'll leave that to Mr. Redfield. Um, and what did I go blue, purplish. We want to keep it around the same value. It doesn't feel off. There we go. An Eggman in this style would be insane. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. I didn't even consider that. I was so caught up on Sonic that I didn't even think about it. You know what? I might draw that right after, now that you mention it. Capcom Eggman. But yeah, I've noticed that like as time has gone on, my style has like slowly been shifting over to looking very Capcom adjacent, and I'm not mad at that at all, actually. Um, it is something that I've become aware of, and I'm kind of leaning into it. I'm just seeing how far I would venture into the Capcom style before I'm like, you know what, I don't want this. Because I do still think it's important to maintain a little bit of like what you like, even if what you like is mostly consisting of a certain style um, that you feel isn't your own per se. You feel like you got to maintain some level of, I don't know, uniqueness, I guess. Give Eggman the proportions of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Juggernaut. Yes, that is a fantastic idea, and I will probably do that. Trying to get some color in here, make it pop a little bit. It's one thing that I've sort of, I don't want to say stolen, but nicked from Capcom. It's the way they use colors within their shadows. Um, they're just really good at that kind of thing, and I'm trying to incorporate that. But this was always meant to be a sketch, so I'm not gonna spend too much more time on this. I'm just gonna throw in some highlights and I just call it a day. Let's see. Do we want to? I try to avoid going straight to like white highlights immediately. Uh, let's do that. Oh, is that too much? No, it's not, because that's still on soft light. Okay. There we go. I also really like this brush that I'm using. Uh, Feels the most painterly out of all the brushes that I use. And that to me is amazing because I don't paint traditionally because I'm afraid of the mess. Um, so being able to have something that feels like a good equivalent digitally that can still avoid the mess um, is quite amazing. this is the real live action Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, if they had dropped the trailer and he looked like this, I feel like the fans would have welcomed him with open arms. They should have just hired me, but just you know, studios making bad decisions again. What can we do? I think your style is definitely getting more Capcom-like, but heavier on the shadows, especially with the recent Hulk drawing. Yes, yes, very much so. Um, yes, and definitely heavier on the shadows. Although I will say that Hulk drawing was sort of a rare occasion for me. Like it took 16 hours, and that was mainly just because of the cross hatching. Instagram's compression does, wonders to every drawing that I upload on there, but I probably should have included a close up in the slides now that I think about it. But there's such an insane amount of cross hatching in that drawing, and I told myself I would never do that again because I'm convinced it shaved a couple of years off my life. But um, yeah, definitely heavier on the shadows. I'm a big ink fan. Like I just like the way ink looks. It's probably because of all the comic book influence that I had when I was younger. Um, so yeah, I kind of lean a little heavier on shadows, and I just like dramatic lighting. But yes, I'm glad you noticed that my style has started to lean towards Capcom. Okay, let's throw in some highlight. Well, do I need the highlights? I actually feel like I don't, and I'm lazy, so we're just gonna slap some highlights on the eyes here, and his nose because it's Sonic. I'm gonna darken his eyes right here. And then there's Ugly Sonic if he wasn't ugly. I don't know. um, yeah, let's just hide that and never open it again. Yeah, I definitely see that Capcom art always feels a lot more penciled, and yours definitely has much more of an ink feel. Yep, yep, 100%. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Um, yeah, I was messing around with some stuff earlier. Um, Mostly pencil drawings, because I feel like I still draw better um, on paper. Like I feel like my drawings are more solid on paper than they are digitally, and so I'm trying to bridge that gap and just try to find a workflow that feels more reminiscent of paper. I guess I don't know. So I'd done this also while I was at work, um, and then I liked it enough that I wanted to color it. So I threw some colors on it. Uh, Very, very much Capcom inspired. Uh, I was doing studies of like Ryu's face because there's a very specific way to draw him, and it's very easy to go like off model, and it just starts looking really uncanny and weird. So being able to sort of like figure out what makes Ryu's face, um, was really fun, uh, and it was just nice to sort of just make something like that didn't have to be like perfectly clean by the end. And just mess around with colors and stuff. But the process felt very like smooth, and I liked it a lot. I learned a lot from doing it, despite being like a very quick drawing. Um, Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. But with that being said, I'm just gonna draw basically commission examples. Because I have a lot of examples of like finished, like really highly polished artwork, but I am uh going to open up some like slots for uh sketches. They'll be $25. It won't be crude by any means, but they'll be less, polished than my regular paintings that people probably see. I just wanted to offer something that's more affordable, but you still get, a good bang for your buck. Um, I don't really have a lot of examples of that because most of the stuff I'm working on is, meant to be more polished. So I figured I'd spend this stream just kind of, making some sketches that I would deem worthy of $25. Um, but since you're here, I'll let you decide. Basically, either I do Leon Kennedy, or I will do. Hmm, let's see, either Leon Kennedy or Ryu from Street Fighter. I'm fine with either one. Um, Realistically, I was probably going to do both, so either one will be fine. But I will let you decide. I'm gonna say Ryu. I know more of him, or I know of him more than Leon. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, Ryu it is. Um, let's see. I could take this one and redo it, but I'm not going to. Okay, let's get a lovely inking brush. Yep, that's the one. And we're going to just sketch out some poses. I'm not too worried about making anything pretty right now. We're just worried about the flow, the shapes, all that, that kind of thing. So I'm not really concerned about making anything overly appealing. I just want some good shapes. I'm using a big brush on purpose so that if I don't like it, I didn't invest too much time, and I'm also not getting into details. And if I don't like it, I can just kind of erase really quickly. A 3/4 profile would be cool. That would be cool. Um, but I mean, it depends on what the person wants. Obviously, when I do actually offer these commissions, but I think potentially doing some what you call it, full body ones is a little bit more appealing to people, you know. Um, but you're not wrong in what you're saying. 3/4 profile would look very cool. Mm, that makes sense. This post is sick, by the way. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna erase his head because I don't like his head. And his arms. because I know the vibe I'm going for, and it's similar to this, but it's not this. So I'm gonna get rid of it, and then I think this part overlaps the other part. It's crazy. I just drew it and I forgot. Yes, okay, I'm correct. Having these sketch commissions would be great for people who need concepts of their characters. Yes, that is true. Yeah. Although I am hesitant about doing like character designs for people, only because it gets a little bit tricky, obviously, when you're making something for someone that they are going to be using over and over again. Like something that's there's a difference between obviously making like just a drawing of their favorite character, even if they put it up on their wall. It's like it's their favorite character and they're commissioning you for your style versus a character design where maybe they are asking for a little bit of your style, but it still has to adhere to their kind of design sensibilities. Which I'm not entirely opposed to, but I'm sure you've dealt with some interesting customers as an artist, and it gets tricky when you get into stuff that's not just like draw me this character, you know. When it starts to get more personal, uh, sometimes it can get hectic, but that's just one of those things you got to play by ear. I'm realizing now where I'm getting inspiration for this pose, and it's I think it's what is it? His level 2 in Street Fighter 6. I think that's what it is. I think it's his level 2. It's where he just like charges up really quickly, where his eyes look crazy. Said I wouldn't get caught up in details and look at me sketching tiny eyeballs that don't matter. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I'll fix this. Very fair gets tricky, but I usually try to cut a deal where I get to keep the piece to use as a portfolio piece in exchange for them getting 2 to 3 revisions of the design. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Hmm. I'll definitely consider it. Maybe that would be something I do, in the future. Maybe not on launch of commissions, just because character design requires a lot of brain power, and I'm already using up a lot of that for all the other things I'm doing right now. And I think it's easier for me to just kind of draw characters that already have a certain design and to try to come up with something for somebody. And I want to do a good job. Not that I don't want to do a good job with the character drawing, but I don't have to do a good job with the design. Somebody else did that for me. Um, but that could be something that I offer eventually because I'm not opposed to that at all. If you decide to do that, obviously charge a lot more since you're carrying the design aspect. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm working on well, it's basically done, but um, I have the sort of commission form all ready. Just I felt like I didn't have enough examples of sketches. Um, like I shared what my like rough sketch looked like for the Hulk piece, but that's not something I would like ask somebody to pay for. That's more just like preliminary thumbnail for me, so I know we're only affordable. Um, Hmm. How do I feel about this pose? Okay, OBS. Let's not act up now. How do I feel about this pose? It is okay. I feel like it doesn't have enough energy. It might be because there's literally no energy coming from this, but I think it's also something to do with his arms and hands. So I'm going to get rid of them again. um, I know to some people it looks crazy how much I'm like deleting and redrawing certain parts, but this is literally my process. I will not move forward if I do not like the underdrawing. I feel as though the problem is his arms and hands are not pushed back enough. Yeah, one of the main things I like about Capcom's art is their anatomy. Let's have it swooping in like that. I think positioning him in a little more of a twist pose with one arm in front and one behind while he's looking forward could add more energy. It could, yeah, it could. That's probably it because that's similar to what I was thinking I could do, but I'm almost kind of leaning into the level two pose because he does like kind of just face directly into the fake camera, I guess, when he does his level two. I feel like maybe I could bend his knees too, just a little bit. Do I like that? No. um, that's fine. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna like. Again, these are $25 sketches. Not say that $25 is some like small amount of money. It's just I'm gonna have like three tiers of commissions. So it'll be this. It'll be my sort of ink style that you saw with like the Wonder Woman thing that I did, and then my painterly style, and that'll be the most expensive. Um, so not to say that I'm just going to like not do a good job with this, but at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be the most perfect drawing or perfectly composed thing in the world because it's literally $25. But uh, you know, I also like the way Capcom draws like their characters' mouths. It's very pouty. It's kind of funny. Uh, this here, arm here, tricep, bicep. I got a dip for the night. Have a good one, bro. You too, man. You too. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and good luck with the short film as well. Can't wait to see more of it. But you have a good night. Mm, let's fix these arms. There's one thing I will say about sketches in terms of like advice. It's don't be precious with the sketch. That's something that I've had to learn. It's easier said than done, but it will help you in the long run because first idea usually isn't best idea. There are cases where first idea is the best idea, but in most cases, even if you end up with something similar to your first idea, you usually end up having to tweak something about it. So don't be precious with the sketch. Be okay with messing it up, changing it, moving things around. Like that's okay. Bro is drawing, lol. Yeah, we are drawing indeed. Welcome. We are drawing some Capcom stuff right now. We got Ryu. Um, if you haven't seen the rest of the stuff I drew, there's another version of Ryu. I'm gonna clean these all up. By the way, they're not gonna stay looking like this. We drew Ryu again. And then we also drew a cursed Sonic because why not, right? Why not? But yeah, we're just kind of messing around with some sketching right now. I'm gonna clean up one of these. Not entirely sure which one though. I've gotta feel it, you know. I feel like if we make this hand go under, that'll be better. So we need arm to go kind of like this. And then your layer sorting is tacky. That's hilarious. But whatever works for you. Yep, I suppose. I'm assuming you're a fellow Procreate user? Maybe not. Let's see. I want to get that hand. And that. I'm trying. Oh, okay, okay. Very cool. I was doing a lot of pencil drawings earlier today, and I was complaining that I think my pencil drawings look better than my traditional drawings, at least in the sketch phase. By the time I get to the painting part, I think the digital stuff looks better, but I think paper just is a feeling that comes with paper that looks that just works better for me. I don't know what it is. It might be a mind thing, but I always look at my traditional sketches and drawings, and I'm like, this is this is more comfortable. Squeeze his hand. That. I'm kind of rocking with that a little bit. His face is a bit blank. Yeah, so I think a better mic. Oh, okay, okay. I was a bit confused for a minute. This is a temporary mic, so yeah, apologies for any low volume. Won't be like this forever, but this is uh this is what we got right now. I think this can be pushed a little bit more. I think I'm going to. We could bring his head down, turn him in space a little bit. Let that eye kind of carry the image and expression, you know, kind of like this. Your anatomy reminds me of Dragon Ball. That thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Funny enough, I wasn't like crazy into Dragon Ball. I am now. Um, but like I think for most of my formative art years, it wasn't. But I mean, Sonic, Street Fighter, like I feel like they're close enough to that sphere of like art. And Yuzo Murata, um, that the influence kind of rubbed off on me, anyways. But I've never heard anybody make that comparison. But I do appreciate that because I mean, those guys are awesome. That ear in there. What's this hair? That looks ridiculous. Ryu has a bad hair day. That in there. Shrink the head a little bit. Uh, expression is good. Go with that instead. And then, let's see. How can we push this? Because I was thinking we kind of bring them in a little bit, you know? It's kind of like, kind of doing the same thing, but just we're crunching the anatomy a little bit. Kind of like that. Honestly, now that I've done it, I don't know if that's the direction I want to go in. Feels a little bit too boxed up, you know? Yeah, I don't think I want to do that, which is okay. That's why I always say never be precious with sketch, because you may not like it. You can just change your mind, and that's okay. I think what I want to do is bring his face closer, actually. I'm going to be four-person. I don't know what that means, but welcome to the stream. Let's close his mouth. I haven't paid much attention to how Capcom does it. Sort of like gritted teeth. But, I'm not trying to copy Capcom. I just like their art. But John Street is a fighter. I feel like I'm out of the loop on a lot of references that people make nowadays. feel like this is it's closer to what I was thinking of. Wanted to just push the perspective a little bit more. Let's open up his hand just a tad bit. Expression is going to. Okay, I think that's good as far as the expression goes. His eyes could be looking that way. I heard animators draw fast, but is that like? Are you saying that I'm drawing fast or I'm drawing slow? before I before I respond, I need to make sure that I'm not being told I'm drawing slow. Because to be fair, I'm not the fastest when it comes to drawing, especially since I redraw stuff a lot. Like if I don't like the idea, I will just sit there and redraw it. So if you are implying that I am a slow artist, you're not even wrong. I've kind of accepted it. Oh, fast. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was fully prepared for you to just be like, yeah, you're slow, dude. I appreciate that. I do feel like animation has helped me a lot because I definitely was not this fast like a couple months ago, like two months ago. I feel like I definitely was not this fast. Animation helps you so much because you realize like you'll get tired of having to redraw frames, and so you will adapt with like each new animation you do or each shot because your brain and your body is telling you like you better draw faster or you're gonna lose the desire to do this at all. And that's kind of where I've gotten, where it's like the current animation I'm working on, I I like noodled with it for so long that now I'm like just waiting for it to be over, you know? So I know that my next animation will be so much faster because of that. Um, but yes, I would highly recommend animating to anybody really. Um, Even if it's not like super clean animation. Like what I do is I will sort of take a pose that I like and I will just try to animate a character doing that pose. So if it's like a jumping pose, I would just do what I think leads up to that pose. But it just helps you to sort of like get those reps in of like, how can I quickly convey this idea or this anatomy without having to, spend 30 minutes on it. When you move on to the next pose. What time is it for me? It is 11:06 p.m. What time is it for you? Something like that, probably. Have it just like this. We're going to draw over all this anyway, so I'm not worried about it being precious. The anatomy's there, so I know how it works. Maybe a little bit of his neck showing. Boom. Make sure that's there. But yeah, it's 11:06 for me. I think I want to bring his. I think his head is a little bit too big. I'm gonna shrink that and then slide it down. What is that? Okay, turn that off. Bring this part of his head down. Cool. I'm gonna squish this up. Cool. Okay, that's good enough for me as far as the sketch. I like that one. I'll leave that. That one, maybe I'll do something with that eventually, but I like this one. So we are now going to lower that opacity. Now I have to decide on the brush that I want to use to ink this. I kind of like the one I'm using. I just don't know if I'm gonna like it at like a smaller scale. It's all right. It's a sketch. It's fine. All right. Let's just again. We're not trying to be overly precious with this. Got the basic shapes in there, so I'm just gonna go for it. Let's flip the canvas actually. We don't mess up his face. You see that? I almost that would have been terrible. Always remember to flip the canvas periodically. Make it a habit. Okay, and then that this down. I love that Ryu's eyebrows kind of go over his what you call it, his headband. I think that is hilarious. I want to make his eyes bigger, and do that nose over. The nose is gonna be tricky. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Eyes. Make them a little bit bigger. Put that there. Now, okay. Let's flip the canvas again. And the eyeball. It's not right. Hmm. I feel like I lost the essence of his face. I see it. I see exactly what it is. We're gonna redo it. I see exactly what the problem is right there. What time is it for me? Oh, I said it earlier. Sorry. I think the mic is just too low. It's 11:13. We're doing a bit of late sketching. Can you hear me better now? It's 8:45 for me, but it's Sunday too. Oh, it's Sunday. Oh, okay. It's still Saturday for me. Very cool though. Um, hmm, the eyes here like that. Doing this. Yeah, that works. Okay. He has a face. So what kind of drawings do you normally make? I don't want to mispronounce your name. I'm just gonna call you Red. What kind of art do you make? I know you said you do traditional art. Character design, animation, illustration. What's your forte? I've discovered that I am not a big fan of this brush after the sort of like rough, sketchy phase. Not that this isn't rough in a sketch, but you know, past this point right here, I'm kind of okay with not using this brush. Let's flip that canvas again. Okay. Eyebrow could be a little bit thicker on this side. And I'm going to raise this eye. That's a tangent. I think his nose isn't pointed enough in this direction. There we go. Brushing it. Okay. Do that. And then flip the canvas again. Okay, this side is supposed to be over this side. Like that. And then technically it has a collar. So that collar is going to be covering a little bit of his face. Like that. At least that's what I want it to be. This. There's his chest in there. Yeah, not a big fan of this brush as like an inking brush, but you know, it's like fine. It's fine. I might there's a small chance that I do another pass on top of this after with a different brush just to clean it up a little bit more. This brush is passable for now. Okay, I like the way I did that teeth or those teeth, that teeth. English, dude. Like if we make one of his eyes kind of a little bit like that, that's kind of cool. You know, I don't want to overdo it. Something like that. I was a bit angry. Get this hair. Actually, we'll come back to the hair. I just want to get the rest of this in real quick. I know it could be going faster. I'm kind of getting caught up in little like noodly details, and that's not good. It's never a good sign. Not at this stage. So I want to return to some of these other parts that need some attention. um, hmm, shoulder feels a bit small. Let's flip the canvas again. Eyes are looking okay. This eye is let's go a little bit further this way. Yeah, there we go. We will not be using this brush moving forward. This is just not it for me. I feel like I'm like it's nice just for the rough sketch. Other than that, yeah, no, this ain't it. This is not it. I am like really trying to make it work for this, but I'm not enjoying the way it's going with this brush. I feel like I'm fighting it too much. No brush of mine would be this difficult. Okay, and the glove is like use glove. Put this rim like that. And then let's see. Bring the knuckle forward like that. Mm. Hmm. No. By the way, if anybody has any questions, you want to talk about art, you have art questions, process questions, anything like that, feel free to drop them down below. I thankfully have gotten to the point where I am able to multitask, draw and talk. Otherwise, I wouldn't be streaming. I may not be as fast when I draw and stream, but I am able to do it now, which is very nice. Because I do like streaming. But yeah, feel free to drop any questions you might have. Happy to answer. Okay, let's get this other hand in here. I'm just gonna put on a new layer in case I don't like it. I actually think I want to. This is what we're gonna do. This is what I do whenever I reach a point in a drawing that I'm doing that I'm like, I didn't define it enough in the sketch, so I don't really, know how to go from here. Um, without doing a bunch of like searching like this. So this is what I do. I will just take a red color, and then I will basically do another sketch on top. It just sort of defines anything that I feel like the sketch underneath didn't. And in this case, it's kind of just the perspective of the hand I don't think was correct in the other one. Um, I just kind of play around here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to kind of fill in the information I needed from the other sketch. And if I don't like it, we just erase or we undo. Um, like that. Yeah, this is a interesting perspective. So we've got to kind of push the fingers back. And to be honest, I'm really like, obviously, I'm thinking about the anatomy, but I'm focused more on the shape. Like, if the shape doesn't look appealing, the anatomy won't be appealing either, you know? Um, and so I think what I'm realizing is just having his hand kind of like this doesn't really look like he's charging up. Like having it twisted in this way, that's like the ugliest hand ever. You know what I mean? Having it twisted this way doesn't really look like he's charging it up. It just kind of looks like his hand's just in the air for no reason. He's like pinching something. So I think I'm gonna rotate the hand this way. So he's kind of got it like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then let's see, we're gonna look at my own hand for reference here. And we've got the thumb kind of out. These we're gonna go back a little bit. This one's kind of forward, kind of like that, roughly like that. And then I think I'm gonna move this as well. So it's not, you don't want it overlapping this hand because then that's just a tangent, you know. So we're gonna move this kind of like that, which means I gotta erase this part, and bring it like right here, kind of like that, which might make me have to, move the arm, which is okay, you know. But look, you see that? Now I've kind of figured out all of that, and now all I have to do is just kind of move things over and draw on top of that. So, boom, not that big of a deal, right? Just gonna lower the opacity like that, bring it underneath, and then boom, back to the drawing. Just gonna cut out all that. Boom. And we're just gonna fix up the arm like so. It's times like these that I wish I had music, but it's okay. Let's do like that. And to not trace this because this isn't perfect. Like that. Mm-hmm. That and then pinky like that. Pretty much. That's kind of it. I might move the hand down a little bit. Just this part, kind of in front or behind, I should say, behind the glove. Um, Using this to show some of the perspective in the form. I want to make sure that looks right. Wraps accordingly. Mm, that. Boom. And I think you usually can see a little bit of that. I'll use. I think it's been a while since I've drawn with you, to be fair. It's good practice for me, anyways. We haven't flipped the canvas in a little while, so let's do that. Okay, hand looks good. Eyes look okay. That's always the tricky part. That is always the tricky part. Getting the eyes to look right. Okay. Just a bit of hair. Okay. I'm making a note to myself to never use this brush again. Except for the rough sketch. Other than that, this is useless. It's funny because it's a brush I like customized and I liked it at some point. Well, it's kind of a duplicate of a brush I made. So the original brush I made is like a painterly brush, and I liked the feel of it, and so I thought it would do well as an inking brush too. That is not true. I feel stupid. That's okay. It happens to the best of us. We can all make good brushes. Just gonna fill this in. Flip the canvas again. Change reuse nose because we don't like it. It's just the sweet spot that I'm looking for, and it's just not there yet. We gotta make this mouth smaller. This ridiculousness. I think that's all right. I love it. Thank you, Cheeto. I really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in. Let me know if you have any art questions or just want to talk about stuff, movies, games, you name it. Oh wait, add in the rest of his gi here. Technically, okay, let's see. His chest is here, right? Rib cage is here. He's twisting his body a little bit, so kind of going like this. And get down into something like that. Leg would be basically right about here, something roughly like that. Just using that to give me a good idea of where to put this leg, and then like the leg would be right there. Not the other leg, just the rest of his leg. Yeah, okay. Cool, cool. I'm just gonna have one layer for like some of the effects. The key, I feel like I could You know what? Yeah, give me a minute. Let's get like green because then I'll be able to see it better. Use this one. That's way too small. Let's bring the opacity down so we can actually see. Mm, This is the most boring part of the process, so apologies for anybody watching, but it must be done. I do wish Procreate had, slightly better lasso tool. I feel like they could have like a better like smart select. I don't have to do this all by hand, but it's fine. It is what it is. I've gotten used to it. It doesn't really bother me. It's just, again, the most boring and uninteresting part of the process. Just slows you down a whole lot. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm spending so much time doing this. And there's like no way around it. I think that's the worst part. It's like there's literally no way around this, at least in Procreate. I guess the only way you could get around it is by having like super clean line work where all the gaps are closed, but that's not really how I draw normally. I can draw with clean line work, but I do like a little bit of roughness to my line work, even in the super clean stuff that I do, just because I think it's more reminiscent of actual ink. I feel like when it's all just super clean, no difference in line weight at all, like that looks so kind of stiff to me, I guess would be the word to describe it. It's just very static, and I don't really like it. But So some things like can make it work, but for the most part, I don't really like that look. Okay, we've got color now, which is what I wanted because I wanted to do some like work to the background, but I couldn't do that without him being filled in first. So back to the inkers. Yeah, what does Copperhead do? I don't necessarily like that. I kind of actually, I kind of do like it. I'll take that back. Sorry, Copperhead. I don't like that it has the sort of like stabilization on. I don't like that part. The rest of it is fine. Um, I'm trying to look at the shapes I made underneath and work based on that. Actually, something like that. Boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be rough anchor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want that much texture down here. Look at that solid black for now. Okay. Um, yeah, like that. I think I can turn this off, actually. Yeah, you're no longer in need of that. Okay, clip and mask. Um, let's get the. I think we'll use this one. Wow, very small. Okay, there we go. So the light's coming from here. So we're gonna let's start here first. Trying to decide if I like it so far. Mainly this area on his cheek. Trying to make sure I nail that part. Um, do that. Let's come down here. Hmm, I think that's all right. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm gonna add a layer underneath that. Also, I'm gonna make this a multiply layer. I'm just gonna add in like the value of his headband. I'm also I just realized now that I didn't add the like two string parts of his like headband. So I'm gonna do that. But first, I'm just gonna throw in like the values of these things here. That would be darker. That's like his glove. It's not happening. Okay. Okay. So it's a little bit darker. Um, this a little bit darker now. So that normal layer, duplicate it so it's a bit more solid, and multiply. Okay. Why does it look so funky now? I like how this has basically just become the Capcom stream. Okay. Well, my headset is dying soon, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up now. Let me add a little color back here. Let's try to keep it well saturated in the center, as one does. Oh, that was an accident. My bad. And then let's go back to the ink. Or no, let's do spray paints. We're gonna try and cover this up a little bit. I don't want it to be too obnoxious. It's right here. Actually, change this to spray paints. And change this back to the inker. Yeah. Do that here. Okay. Let me add one more layer just to slap on like some of the energy coming from this way. And then one more layer. Where is it? Okay. It's gonna be like a hard light. Yeah. Right. Not too loud. Like that. I think is good. Okay. That's good. Maybe we'll put down that. Boom. Yeah, that works. That works. Okay. Um, Thank you so much to everybody who stopped by the stream. Really appreciate it. Gonna try to, do these whenever I'm free. I can't really guarantee a schedule right now. Because I'm very busy. But you know, when I'm free, I will try to, you know, do a little stream, even if it's for just a little while. Um, but yeah, that is all, folks. Really, really appreciate everybody who stopped by, and I will see you all in the very next one. Bye. Good night. Definitely not noodling more on this. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you later. Have a good one.